हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स पॉइंट में आपका स्वागत है। और अभी हम कर रहे हैं चैप्टर 14 इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज़ अराउंड अस। द रूट ऑफ प्रॉस्पेरिटी इज इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. द लैक ऑफ इट brings material distress. The absence of fruitful economic activity endangers both current prosperity and future growth. ये किसने कहा था? कौटिल्य अर्थशास्त्र में लिखा है ऐसा, यानी कि चाणक्य ने कहा था. Introduction. In chapter 13, we learn about two types of activities, economic and non-economic. Activities that create monetary value are called economic activities. वो वाली एक्टिविटी जो monetary value create करती हैं उनको economic activities कहते हैं. Monetary value क्या होती है? Value of something that can be measured in terms of money, जिसे मापा जा सके, यानी कि मेजर किया जा सके मनी के टर्म्स में. We also learn about the importance of non-economic activities. To understand these activities better, we will learn how economic activities are classified and what differentiates them in this chapter. Over the decades, the number of economic activities has increased tremendously. For example, earlier most people were involved in activities such as agriculture, livestock rearing, production of tools, poetry, and weaving cloth. As societies progressed, the number of economic activities through which people earned their livelihoods increased vastly. Today, there are diverse economic activities such as manufacturing computers, mobile phones, and drones, working in banks, schools, and hotels, driving various types of vehicles for transportation, making furniture, tailoring clothes using machines, creating software, repairing refrigerators, and washing machines, etc. Classifying all these activities help us to understand how they function and the links they have with each other. Economic sectors, board groups that include various activities that help with the economic prosperity of a nation. The classification of economic activities into economic sectors. Some economic activities share similar characteristics, and based on this, they can be grouped together or classified into broader group called economic sectors. The three main types of economic sectors are primary, secondary, and tertiary economic sectors. The illustration on the facing page maps out the board activities under these categories. Primary activities. Those economic activities in which people are directly dependent on nature to produce goods are known as primary activities or primary sector economic activities. Primary sector, the group of activities that involves extraction of raw materials directly from nature, such as farming, fishing, forestry, etc. Classification of economic activities into economic sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, or tertiary sector. Agriculture, construction or healthcare, mining, manufacturing, trade and logistics, fishing, water supply, communication, raising livestock, solar power, banking, forestry, electricity production, transportation. For example, work involving cultivation of grains and vegetables from agricultural farms, collecting wood from the forests, extracting coal from mines, fish from fisheries, eggs from poultry farms, etc., are all primary sector economic activities. The most common primary activities are agriculture, mining, fishing, raising livestock, forestry, etc. Below are some of the type of activities within the primary stock: greenhouse farming, फिर mining, fish farming, fishery, forestry, raising livestock. Secondary activities, economic activities in which people are dependent on outputs of the primary sector and transform them to produce goods are known as secondary activity or secondary sector economic activities. The secondary sector includes the construction of buildings, roads, etc., and providing utilities like water, electricity, gas, and other such necessities. It also includes the manufacturing of products in factories and production units to process raw material from the primary sector into some other form that can be further sold or consumed. Some examples of secondary sector activities include the processing of grains obtained from agricultural fields to make flour in milks, extraction of oil from groundnut, and processing of tea leaves to drive tea. Similarly, wood from the forest is converted into furniture and paper. Cotton is used to make clothes, and steel from iron ore is used to make automobiles like cars, trucks, etc. Secondary sector, the group of activities that involve processing of raw materials derived from primary sector into products for sale or consumption. Automobile factory, textile factory, pharmaceutical factory, furniture production unit. Types of automobile passenger vehicle like cars 45 lakhs number of units produced in India 2022. Commercial vehicles like trucks 10.3 lakhs, three wheelers 8.36 lakhs, two wheelers 2 crores. Tertiary activities, all those economic activities that provide support to people involved in primary and secondary activities are called tertiary activities or tertiary sector economic activities. फिर आ जाते हैं इस पे tertiary sector, the group of activities that involves the provision of services which complement both primary and secondary sectors such as transportation, banking and management of business. These include services that we may not be able to see but which still play a very important role. For example, the driver of a truck transports grains and vegetables from the farm to a factory or the market. The fruit or vegetable vendors sell the farm produce to household consumers. Similarly, doctors, nurses, teachers, lawyers, and pilots provides their services to those who need them. There are technicians who repair and service electronic items, including mobile phones and televisions, mechanics who repair vehicles like cars and tractors, and electricians who ensure regular supply of electricity. Their services make our lives easier. Similarly, communication services through mobile and internet, software development and services at hotels, restaurants, banks, schools, hospitals, airports, shops, warehouses, etc. are all examples of tertiary sector economic activities. This sector is called the service sector. Warehouse, what is warehouse? Large buildings used for storing products before they are sold, used or rented out to shops. Software development, services at airports, retail stores, independence among sectors. The three types of economic activities or economic sectors play an important role in the process of conversion of natural raw materials into finished products for final consumption. Let us go on an imaginary excursion to a village in Anand district of Gujarat to study an interesting example where we will understand how the three sectors are interconnected and support each other. Dairy cooperative from farm to plate. These days, farmers in Gujarat greet the day with the clinking of milk pails and the happy mows of their best friends, their cows or buffaloes. Cows have a special place in the lives of the farmers and their families. The farmers milk the cows and sell their milk to the dairy nearby. At the end of the month, they get paid for the milk based on its quantity and quality. However, this was not the case about 50 years ago. Dairy, a place where milk is collected and stored. This is the amazing story of milk cooperative named Anand Milk Union Limited, Amul. In the early 1940s, farmers in Anand district would sell milk to the neighboring villages. They would have to cycle or walk to nearby villages to sell the milk under scorching heat. As you know, milk spoils or curdles very fast in hot weather. The farmers had to sell the milk equally before it could spoil. This was a lot of effort for the small amount of money they would earn, so they depended on people called middlemen, who would buy the milk in bulk at merge prices from the farmers and sell it in the market. Many times the farmers felt cheated and harassed by the middlemen. One day, the farmers collectively approached Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a prominent national leader, with their problems. He advised them to form a cooperative to become independent and stop relying on the middlemen. As a cooperative, the farmers would be able milk as a group, taking care of the entire operation of milk collection, processing and distribution themselves. The farmers took Sardar Patel's advice. Amul was set up in 1946 under the leadership of Dhruvandas Patel, lawyer and freedom fighter, and Doctor Varghese Kurian, an engineer who was working at a dairy factory in Mumbai. Cooperative, a group of people who voluntarily come together to meet their economic social needs in a formal way. They own the cooperative and decisions are taken by the members of collective collectively. Middlemen, persons who buy goods from producers and sell them to consumers. The middlemen charge a fee for this service. This initiative brought farmers, including women, together and gave them control over the production and sale of milk. The milk producers collectively made their own decisions on all matters such as production, pasteurization, a process by which milk is preserved through heating to a specific temperature to kill harmful bacteria, and sale of milk. The tasks were shared by everyone, which helped raise their income gradually. They did not need two middlemen anymore and become like a one big family. As more and more farmers began to see the benefits of the cooperative, it continued to grow. The quantity of milk that was being collected was so huge that the farmers decided to make other products out of it. They set up a factory in Anand and began to produce butter and milk powder. Factory building or group of buildings where goods are manufactured or various components are put together to make a final product. Retail, the sale of goods in small quantities for use by the end consumer rather than for resale. Today, the cooperative has wide range of products made at many milk processing plants and factories all over India. Can you name a few? The products are then transported and sold in both small and large retail shops all over the country. In fact, they also export the products to several countries around the world. Is it not amazing? Export goods and services that are produced in one country and sold to buyers or consumer in another country. In this fascinating story, the farmers of this cooperative milk their cows to sell the milk later. This kind of economic activity is called a primary sector economic activity because the product milk is derived directly from a natural source, cows or livestock. Milk is then processed and converted from liquid into another. Milk powder, ghee, cheese, butter, and many other in factories. These economic activities are called secondary sector economic activity. What does Amul do with all products it makes? It sells them in various places. Amul uses lorries and trucks as well as railway, air, and shipping services to transport its products. It has set up retail stores and supplies milk and milk products to other shops in towns, cities, and villages all over Gujarat as well as in different states across India. Here, transportation, trading, and retail in tertiary activity. With the help of the image below, let's see how the books you study are made. The image show the transportation of pulp, wooden fiber of a tree into paper and after printing into textbooks. पेड़ कटा, पेड़ की लकड़ी बनी, लकड़ी से उठा के ले गए, फिर पेपर बन गया, ये लेके गए, फिर पेपर बना, पेपर से ट्रांसपोर्ट हुआ, प्रिंटिंग हुआ और बुक बन गई. None of the activities that were part of the process, from extracting pulp from the trees to making paper and finally producing the books, would have been possible had it not been for all three sectors working together. These days, used paper is recycled to make new paper. Recycling just 1 ton of paper saves 70 trees as well as 2.5 cubic meters of landfill space where waste is dumped. It also takes 70% less energy and water is recycled paper than to make new paper from wood pulp. What are the different ways through which we can judiciously use paper in the classrooms and offices of your school? Before we move on, in this chapter we learn about the three sectors of economic activities. The various examples or illustrations help to understand the difference as well as the interdependence between the three types of economic activities or sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. और इसी के साथ ये